man, trading whatever the fuck these days has been a pain in the ass. I'm telling you right here and right now, I've been thinking about quitting crypto for 5 years. That's when I joined every single day. But now it's even worse, right? Because you don't even have good meme coins. You don't even have like conviction buys. We say this at every episode, but like not even altcoins that have real projects behind them, backed by real projects behind them. You don't even have the utility there, in terms of. I mean, you have the utility. Excuse me, but you don't have like the price performance there, right? You have like utility projects that have been performing amazing in 2021, but they didn't have the product back then. And now that they launched the product and they have real world revenue, the token is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to me. And now I keep hearing that like you have stocks within crypto that you can buy on decentralized exchanges.
Yeah.
I mean, you can use Fortcoin to buy Nvidia stocks. I mean, what universe is this, man? What crossover episode is this? Am I living in the how do you pronounce that?
Simpsons?
Simpsons. Am I living in the Simpsons episode or like Family Guy episode? What the fuck?
One thing I can tell you that you can actually see that even influencers, like even people that stay on the phone all day, even the likes of bangers, shout out to bangers by the way, they're getting kind of fatigued. They're getting kind of fatigued by like what's been going on. Like I saw a tweet of hers like that she's now anti-token launchpads because there's so many new token launchpads, and you can kind of get where that frustration is coming from, not just in her case for example, but like in general in crypto, because it doesn't feel like many companies are innovating. Yes, we've got one or two outliers that are really building behind the scenes, but still you're kind of tired, right? And I hope that maybe some of these bad actors can be filtered out.
I mean, they are being filtered out as we speak.
Yeah.
Right? We're seeing companies. I mean, they get their bag, of course. They're millionaires, but the companies fail themselves. So, I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No. But yeah, I mean, still, we've got some good players still.
Yeah, and what I want to like touch down upon is specifically you saying innovate.
Yeah.
I don't think we need like innovation every day.
We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We need
to
make it like more user friendly. We need
exactly.
We need
you said
to make
what I wanted to say.
We needed to make it easier for people that are not necessarily into crypto to get into crypto. You know, we just need to show them the doors.
Yes, and if they can choose if they want to get in, get out, stay, not stay, leave, whatever. But like one of the projects that of course we have a guest today from that is already doing this, is like fully focused on building, fully focused on being decentralized, and fully aligned with the vision of, you know, keeping the community happy with real rewards, right? Because in a decentralized world, community is everything. There's no, I mean, you're not gonna like do everything to keep the CEO happy. You're gonna do everything to keep the community happy, because that's the real driving force behind a DeFi project, the decentralized project, basically. So one of the guests that we have right now is going to be Anis from Flash Trade, and we're really excited also to announce our partnership with them, and probably like we're gonna use this exact animation right here, or this one. But I mean, one of them will do. All you need to know is that like Flash Trade is fucking amazing, and I've been using it for like a month or two right now, and it's just, this is the first time in my life I'm actually making money on trading, right? Because I used to buy and hold on spot exchanges. This is a different experience altogether. So, I mean, we're not gonna waste any more time and just let's just hop on the call with them.
Yeah, and I'm excited as well. Not just because of the partnership, but because I've been following these guys for quite some time, and to have the chance to work with them, to have the chance to have a conversation with one of the co-founders, it's a
blessing.
and a full circle moment as well.
Yeah. All right. Let's not waste any more time and let's get right into it. So, hello, Anas. How's it going? How's your day been?
Pretty good. I have pushed some updates at Flash and also was stuck in traffic today, when traveling.
Yeah, that happens. That happens. I mean, I get it. In my city, it's just traffic jams are like a daily thing here.
Yeah. It just drains your energy.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, you don't even have energy to like even talk. I mean, it's just you want to sleep. Yeah. So before we like get into the technical things and everything about like Flash Trade, what you've been doing, I would really like to give you the space to talk about your origin story, right? Like how you even joined crypto. What did you do before? I mean, before today, right? So the floor is yours.
For sure. Yeah, basically I started when I was in my high school. I used to love to read some blogs, and I got to know there was some, websites where you can watch some ads, and while you watch these ads, you got some little amount of Bitcoin, which was a big deal because I was in high school and it was like my pocket money, and I used to watch those ads and get my pocket money daily and just sell the Bitcoin as soon as it gets to me, to be honest. And it just went on, and then I saw Bitcoin shooting up to $1,000, and from there it went to 5,000. I was like, what is happening here? And since I had a background in computer science, I was studying computer science later on, and I was like, I need to know what is it all about. And I got into the that in like basically understanding how the fiat currency works and what our money is actually backed by, and how the gold standard fell off. And it got me excited, and I went deeper into the Bitcoin phenomenon, and eventually having a background in developing stuff, I got into understanding things much more clearly. And then as I got into it, I understood how trading happens. I'm sure a lot of people get introduced to crypto markets by trading, and we all think that okay, you might flip some stuff and become a millionaire. So
Yeah.
so I started by trading, and then eventually I ran my own hedge fund, which was it was a profitable business for me. And that's where I got introduced to BitMEX, which launched the world's first perpetuals contracts. And right now I am sure everyone knows it's all the buzz around the perpetual markets for every token. So yeah, I started market making on BitMEX, and then eventually started learning about more on-chain stuff, and the DeFi summer happened, and started to understand what DeFi actually meant. And you can build applications on chain that are truly permissionless and are
Yeah.
open source, and anyone can verify. So the problem with BitMEX or other centralized exchanges was like you cannot verify if your Bitcoins are really on that exchange in those times. But the best thing about DeFi was like you were able to verify things and know the full cash flow, or
Exactly.
actually how things work. And since I used to I had the programming background, I went in to understand how smart contracts work, how DeFi worked, and eventually started building on Ethereum, and got into the roadblocks of the high fees and slow transactions and getting fucked in the mempool, because each transaction took about like 4 minutes or 5 minutes, and during congestion times it was like 10 minutes or more. And I've actually spent quite a good amount of money in gas on Ethereum, probably low five figs. So that has been a very interesting learning point. And then I used to read these threads by Sam from Alameda before FTX, and me being market maker, I used to follow them very closely on how their operations worked, and they used to talk very loudly about Solana, and that's how I got introduced to Solana and have been building on Solana since then. It's like 2022. So yeah, that is a short brief.
I mean, I'm 100% sure you could have gone for hours talking about what's been happening since you joined this market, because
Yeah.
we rejoined like 5 years ago, both me and Dren, the co-host,
Mhm.
and I know personally, if you let me speak about these things, I have so many stories to tell because it's a crazy market.
It's
And
like every week, every day we have a story. Like every day we
exactly.
have a story.
And I just want to touch upon like the gas fees of Ethereum. I remember as well back in 2021 when NFTs were a big thing,
Crazy,
right?
crazy.
Gas wars were something that I mean I probably lost more money on these gas wars trying to mint an NFT and never got anything out of it. It's just burning things out
Yep,
rather
yep,
than even buying them. So
yeah.
yeah,
Eventually, like I find myself in this full circle where I started as a market maker on exchange. Now I'm running an exchange. So it's a full circle of my life journey in crypto. Before I was the trader, now I'm like behind the scene and people are trading. I'm watching them.
And it's true. I mean, I fully agree with you that everyone starts with the idea that they can become successful traders, and 99% of people don't know what they're doing. And I'm part of that 99% because I remember when I first joined this industry, and like I made from $10 like $15, and I was moving around the house like I was Andrew Tate or something. So, but I got the short end of the stick plenty of times and learned a lot of lessons the hard way, which I think it's the learning curve that everyone has to go through. And, like you read a lot of stuff, but still, without actually experiencing them yourself, it's not like you're gonna learn properly.
Yep, it's like
Uh,
the tuition fees, like when you study, you need to pay something, and when you want to
yeah,
become
yeah,
a profitable trader, you have to lose something in the markets.
yeah, exactly. It's the harsh truth. But yeah, like you're all in Bitcoin, right?
Yep.
And but it kind of feels like in recent years, I mean, I remember last year when the ETFs were approved, there was a lot of buzz around the industry. Everyone was very excited that, hey, crypto is becoming now more institutional. But at the same time, if you've been in this industry for a bit longer, you kind of feel that it's losing maybe its decentralized ethos in a way. So, what do you think about that? Do you think that crypto as an industry, especially Bitcoin, since I think we have to separate Bitcoin from the rest of the industry, but do you think like it's drifting away a bit from decentralization?
To be honest, it kind of drifted away during the whole roll-up meta that Ethereum played. But if we watch what is happening on Solana and what is happening on Bitcoin, these are still on the direction of being decentralized. Although I also highlight in front of many people that decentralization does not happen in one day or at the beginning. It's a process, and it will eventually happen. Like even if we talk about historically, like when Bitcoin launched, it was just Satoshi himself who mined it for the first few months, and then we had another miner who joined him. And would you call it a decentralized network at that time? You won't call it. And it took so many years for them to form a system where you had this team of developers who are pushing to the core updates, and then the people who are using and the people who are running the network. Even Solana itself, like back in the day when Solana launched, everyone used to call it as a VC chain, if you remember,
yeah.
with 69 developers. so yeah, eventually like you can't be decentralized from day one. It takes a whole lot of big process, and you learn things. And if you see that the community is in the direction of being more decentralized and open, then that means there is hope for the applications and the community leaning towards that direction. But if we compare other chains, like whatever is happening on Ethereum on the rollups meta, I think they are losing the charm of decentralization and just moving on the centralization angle. But I'm happy that Solana hasn't been gone that direction for now.
Yeah, so I remember like when I talked to Mags, he told me that the whole team at Starship is all about decentralization. I mean,
Yep,
they love
yep, yep.
decentralization. So just like a short sentence on why, because I remember personally I never had an issue with like banks and everything, but ever since I started reading about crypto, and then back in 2020 I started like going deeper into crypto. And then just recently I watched some movies about like what happened on the 2008 and all the, I mean, let's say shit with that was going down back then. I'm also against banks now. So I'm also going to pivoting to like decentralization. But why, in your opinion, in your eyes?
Yeah, see, the most interesting thing that I say to myself and to anyone else is like, you need to build for yourself first. And the thing is, like, I've experienced this stuff firsthand. I've had bad experiences with banks. I've had bad experiences with centralized exchanges, and I was like, holy shit, why would I trust with my own hard-earned money in a place where I have no control over it? Do I really own it? So if I don't own it, it feels like it's not your thing, right? Like, you cannot leave your own stuff with someone and then like, think that a certain law that is written by certain people will hold up, because law changes, right? Today you would say this is the law, and tomorrow a couple of politicians will come together and they will change the law itself. So it's like, there is a law in Europe. I'm sure you guys are from there. So it's like, you cannot withdraw more than 2,000 euros from your own bank account. I was like, is that your own money then? So this whole phenomenon actually kind of pushed me into becoming more permissionless and building something in open finance where it's all verifiable by anyone. So that's the most interesting thing about FlashTrade. Like, we have everything on chain. Anyone today can go ahead and check everything, how FlashTrade works, how it makes money, how the yield is made. Like, because like everywhere we see there is a huge amount of APYs, but you don't know where the yield is actually coming from. But at FlashRate, you can actually find it out by just checking the chain. And it's all about being curious. If you are curious enough, you can actually understand everything about FlashRate by using there is an AI help section on our right bottom corner, and you can get everything there is to be learned about it, and be open about it. Like, where your money is at, rather than trusting XYZ people. You can trust the code, which does not change, because 1 + 1 is equals to 2. It will be 2. It won't be 3. But if you watch what happens in our law and stuff, it can be 1 + 1 is equals to 3, and they will definitely have some discussion or debate on it, and saying theoretically, there is one more. I don't know. People talk about it stuff.
Yeah, and like going back to the banks that you mentioned, and the whole irony about it is that, like, just recently you had Jerome Powell from the Federal Reserve saying that banks are now free to explore crypto services and provide them. So, like, you have the likes of JP Morgan and other big banks exploring these blockchain solutions, but in reality, all they do as of right now is simply just provide ETF investment opportunities or something like that. But now they market themselves as crypto banks as well, which is not actually true. I mean, at least for now. But yeah, speaking of Dexter, sorry, did you want to add something?
Yeah, there was something called Operation Chokehold that was happening
Yeah.
before Trump's presidency, and I had a US bank account, and it got closed in less than 48 hours without any notice.
Yeah.
And they issued me checks after, like, I don't know, it was like a quarter that I had to wait for my own money. So those are like sore experiences that push us all to build something that is more open, and you actually own stuff.
Yeah, but it's the reason why I'm kind of concerned is that the very same people that would talk bad on crypto, let's say years ago, they're the ones that are saying that now, that they're saying it's completely fine as an industry to be integrated into these traditional technologies.
Yeah, because
And
they have filled their bags.
yeah, exactly. But like in the event, for example, 4 years later that the administration changes, and then let's say there's not as much of a pro crypto stance from the next administration, let's say, it would be kind of a shot in the foot for the whole industry to regress again at that point. So I really hope that we move forward and follow the likes, for example, of El Salvador in terms
See,
of
the most interesting thing is, like, we were alive when Operation Chokehold was going on, and we survived through it. So it's the technology that survives through all these greedy monsters. So you need to build things in the right way, and I think by the blessing of it will all happen in a great fashion. So yeah.
So now speaking of FlashTrade,
Yep.
When people think of, let's say, perp platforms in Solana, if I'm not mistaken, there's more than 50 platforms. I could be wrong, but last time I checked, uh, they tend to think of, let's say, the likes of Jupiter. But I've tried, for example, both Jupiter. I tried Flash Trade, and I've seen a lot of user reviews, whether that's on Reddit or other platforms, and none of them feel as user centric as Flash Trade. And my question to you would be, what do you think makes you guys different, and why? I mean, because in my opinion, what you guys have been building, it's absolutely wonderful for the industry. It's very healthy, and so yeah.
First of all, thank you for the compliment. I love, like this, the small appreciations actually help us to, put us more like towards working on building something great. Apart from that, it all comes towards this side. Like, if you are the power user of your own platform, you understand what is missing, and you build it for the actual users. And in terms of numbers, there are only 5 exchanges, perpetual exchanges on Solana. Because it's kind of hard to build this stuff. What we see on EVM side is like many of them are actually clones, direct clones. Since there are open source repositories, most of them just clone them and then try to have some volume. And but on Solana it's tougher to build. But we have like 5 exchanges, and around on an average we like go around third by volume. Versus Jupiter, then there is Drift. So yeah, it's all about the game of distribution. And if we compare the exchanges, the likes of Jupiter and Drift, these guys have been live on Solana for more than 4 years now, and for us it's just 16 months. So I think it's all about being alive and shouting more about the great things that we are building, and then eventually you will see that the hockey stick uprise of things, and you need to keep building, and staying alive is part of the journey.
Yeah, so now you mentioned that like there's like it's harder to build, especially like this type of stuff on not only on Solana, just to build it in general. Yeah. So not why, but like how did you manage to actually do it? Like in terms of getting the team together, working with the team, and then just executing, and then saying, okay, did you just like say, okay, let's see where this goes, or you planned it all ahead actually? Because in my eyes, every builder in this space, in this industry, they experiment a lot, but then of course they experiment with a vision, right? They have a vision, they want this specific thing, but you have to experiment because it's crypto. But like I just want to know, like, what was your thought process throughout the whole building Flash Trade basically?
Yeah, see, Flash Trade was born right after the crash of FTX saga. So what happened is like before that we were building a decentralized hedge fund management protocol, which was an extension of my hobby that I used to do before coming Onchain, which was running on my own fund.
Yeah.
And I was very happy with that, and I wanted to do a decentralized version of that, and it was like my hobby project, and it grew very well. And eventually what happened is like we built it over another perpetuals exchange, and it blew off, and that kind of hurt us. And I was like, I think I can build something that is much better than that exchange. And even after FTX collapse, I was like, centralized exchanges does not have a great future.
Yeah.
And we need decentralized versions of these exchanges. And I personally believe there will never be one winner in this industry. We'll have multiple people, and it will serve multiple different tastes of people.
Yeah.
Like there are people who love this sort of stuff and that sort of stuff. So we'll have multiple winners. And the idea about Flash Trade, I think it takes a lot of grit, and you need to build it with your friends. So I'm very fortunate to have my friends. These are my friends since 7th standard, and we've been together. And although we might fight sometimes, we are able to be on the same page and have this dream fulfill ours. Like we have this dream that we would be able to serve trillions of dollars of volume every day, and that's all possible because the math checks out. Like everything that we have built so far, like Flash Trade has done more than $16 billion in volume, and what we have seen is in simulations is like we can do immense amount of volume. There is no cap to it because everything works smoothly, right? These are all on-chain programs, and you don't need human resources in terms to scale from here. It's all there and it's all handling by itself. You just need more distribution and more money coming in. So it just, makes us more joyful and more ambitious to go ahead and fulfill this dream of making an exchange that can, allow anyone to trade anything on chain with leverage. So that is how we went through. But to be honest, the journey is very hard, and you shout, you cry, you bleed, but I think it's worth it, because we are building something that is open and more useful for users than what we have right now.
Yeah, and you guys also introduced like yield generating NFTs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So what like sparked that idea to integrate NFTs first of all into Perpetual's protocol, and how do you see this evolving in terms of redefining user engagement in DeFi, for example? Because both Atis and I are huge proponents of NFTs, and we really hope that they can make a comeback, as a subcategory of crypto.
See, at the time when we launched Flash Trade, DeFi was not on the scene for Solana folks, and NFTs were all the rage. And we knew inside that we need core financial products that make real money to be alive for the next 10 to 20 years or 50 years, however long we are able to survive things and build over it. So NFTs was sort of our gateway to get more users, because everyone were onto NFTs, and the tech was good. I won't say the tech was not good. It is a good gateway, and if you want to guard users and give them this dedicated reward system, it's possible, because these are non-fungible tokens. Because you can NFTs are actually just as a marker that you give to every address.
Yeah.
And as long as that marker is on that address, you can give them an immense amount of rewards and stuff to get them on the platform. So that is how we used NFTs. The technology itself is as a marker, and we gave good amount of rewards, distribution, like stuff to those specific users. And until unless there was certain amount of cap to NFTs, it was like 5,555 NFTs. So we were reaching this cap of not getting more distribution, and we needed tokens. So we started NFTs so that we first get the core amount of users, and go through the beta stage and give everything that's possible, because we saw our NFT holders as seed investors, because we raised about $1.2 million by selling those NFTs. And eventually we were happy and grateful to get all that money returned to them, more than that actually. So the people who held their NFTs, they got about $1.3 million over the course of their holding. And then we had the token launch, and through the token now we are able to access more users, because you can have immense amount of tokens. Like you can hold 100 tokens, you can have 1,000 tokens, but with NFTs you can only have one.
Yeah.
So it's a good bootstrapping way of getting started. NFTs as such, it's like coupons, right? So yeah, it was an interesting journey, and since NFTs was all the rage and people were excited, we started with this thing. And what we did with NFTs was first of its kind on Solana. These were 3D evolutionary NFTs, which basically evolved as you leveled up, and your level was dependent on the voltage points that you earned by using the platform. And on each level up, you get more rewards, basically more discounts, higher referral rebate, and higher yield boost. So we were able to create this interesting reward model, pretty similar to what you see on credit cards or any other coupons. So we used NFTs like that, and yeah, loved it. The experience was worthwhile.
Yeah, like this is interesting because I've been a big fan of NFTs, and I know the potential behind the technology. I'm not a technical person, I mean, by any means, but just when you think about it logically, you can use NFTs, just as you said, as markers and as a million other things, right? And the way that you use it, I think that's the experimenting part that I mentioned, but it's like a very well thought experiment, right? Because were you like the first guys to do it, or in Solana? You said that, right?
Yes. The way they evolved with the points, we were the first ones to do it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's amazing gamifying the whole process, and I think that's literally crypto right now, right?
Yes.
Everyone's trying to gamify everything. You guys were 2 steps ahead.
Yeah.
So yeah. Do you wanna like?
No, I'm gonna go.
Yeah. Okay. So like, just since we're talking about the products, right? Let's talk about like the most recent, basically, let's say, I'm not gonna say update, integration maybe of like X stocks or stocks X. I'm not sure if where the X is, but it's somewhere.
It's
Um, I mean, I've seen many memes about it, and then I was like, okay, let me try something. I went on your platform to the swap, and I found the used car meme coin, and I was like, I was gonna trying to swap the used car meme coin for Tesla stocks, and to me that was super funny because like, what universe are we living in? But yeah, so
yeah.
like, do you think that this whole basically crossover episode, let's say, of stocks and crypto being able to trade these two, um, I mean, with each other so seamlessly, especially on Solana. Do you think it's like gonna be something like short term, where like hype drives it, or is it gonna be something that it's gonna go on for months or even maybe years, and where both industries, let's say, benefit as a bridge, basically?
See, the thing is, it's all about the money flow. So if we have more money that is on Solana that is trading, then we'll have more stuff that is built on Solana that brings on more volume. So as long as we have the hot ball of money on Solana, we would see more things happening in this direction. And definitely, like every asset needs money. So if there is more money coming on chain, you will see more assets coming on chain, because people need more holders. Even Tesla need more hodlers. Even Google need more hodlers. So if they see more people coming on chain trading this stuff, you will definitely see more stocks coming in and more things coming in. And if we see any slowness coming in this direction, we as builders need to build something more interesting for the
Yeah.
people to make sure this thing goes ahead. And it's glad that you brought this up. So I was just having conversation with the team at BackedFi who launched X stocks. So we are in the process of getting X stocks on Flash so that you can trade with leverage using the assets. So you just don't need to just hold them as spot. So if you know something is going to happen with Elon Musk, you can long Tesla on Flash.
Yeah, and like personally, I know people that have made money, for example, with meme coins.
Yep.
Which is like the most basic crypto story. Like, but at the same time, whenever they make, let's say, life-changing money, they immediately think like, what should I do next? They don't want that money to just sit. They want to invest in something that maybe is less volatile. And looking at recent times, stocks have been quite volatile, but like historically they're less volatile or more predictable than crypto in some way. And like having the ability to trade, let's say, a meme coin with a stock, it's, to me, as Atis said, is like the crossover episode that this industry really needed.
Yeah.
And I think there I saw something, you guys, I'm not sure if I have this correctly, but you also, I think, mentioned the S&P 500, and is that also integrated?
No, it's gonna come. It's gonna come on Flash Trade soon. So you'll
Yeah.
be able to trade the index, which is backed by
Yeah.
top 500 US markets.
Perfect. And speaking of other products, I mean, I've been following a lot of different projects throughout the years, and like you can have a product, you can have a service, but you can also have a token. And in my opinion, it's a whole different ball game. You guys announced a token last year, I think, and during Breakpoint, and
Yep.
I remember there was a lot of excitement about it. And you've recently launched it, like in April.
Yes.
So how has that been going? Like, what's the community sentiment overall? How difficult has it been, or has there been like any challenges that you guys weren't expecting? So just walk us through it.
Yep. Yeah, token launch was interesting. The people were thinking there would be money that is going to come, that is life-changing money, as always, because everyone has this expectation with every project that it's going to change life. But the thing is, easy money goes easy, easily. So, interestingly, at Flash Trade, we are trying to build from scratch. We don't have anyone who's backing us, and we don't have any huge market caps that we are starting with. We are literally starting with $0 as market cap. That's how we began with the launch of NFTs. So Right now the community's perception is very good because we are sharing up to 50% of our revenues with the token stakers, and we also staking FAF also unlocks huge amounts of fee discount. So the most interesting narrative right now is like, if there is anyone who's a pro user of Flash or anyone who's more interested to trade perpetuals, they can buy a small bag of FAF, stake it, and then trade on it. While trading, you get the best fee discounts on Solana, and you also get 50% of your money back. So you get 50% revenues. So it's like you are kind of paying yourself while you're using the product. So that does not happen. Like, imagine tomorrow you might be eating at a restaurant, but does the restaurant share any profits with you? So that is what we are seeing right now, and a lot of people are happy that things are built from scratch and they have the full control, and there is no dilution. That is the most interesting thing about our token. So there is no external or insider trading happening at Flash. Everything was open, and we gave about 80% of token supply from the launch to all our NFT holders. So there is no insane amount of dilution or any hidden vesting schedules that are coming in, because with every like major protocols, what you see is there is like vesting schedules that are unlocked to VCs or to the team, irrespective of any goals that are met. So that is the reason, like, the teams will find themselves in this immense amount of pressure to justify those valuations when the unlocks happen. And they will, I just read some founder who's like, he want to kill himself. So it's very sad. But for us, we flipped the script. Right now, we don't have any tokens, but we will get tokens when we launch products that the community approves of. So we are setting the standard for ourselves, and we are using governance as our model, where we put up a proposal when we want to launch a feature, and then we get the tokens on delivery of that feature, which eventually expands Flash. Like, the market value also grows, so there is no expectation that you need to meet. It's like you're launching a feature that will grow the protocol, and that will grow the revenue, and so you have this tokens coming in to align the team. So that is something that I'm very happy that we were able to come up with and launch FAF.
Yeah, and like you just said, like, the one of the founders that like is feeling like killing himself. It's just the issue that I don't think it's only the communities to not blame, but like call out in the sense that even some of the founders, not all of them, but some of them, I've seen like last year, I've seen in 2023, and even in 2021. But right now it's more common, right? They promise you so much money, they promise you life-changing gains, but like they do these campaigns, social campaigns, where like 1 million people participate, and then if 1 million people participate and you're gonna give out only 1 million tokens, for everyone to become a millionaire, you have to have like $1 trillion dollar market cap, right? So I think it's just the disconnect between also the VCs as well, because the VCs want their money back immediately. I mean, this is a whole other topic. I don't want to like go in too deep into it, because we're just gonna be here for like 5 hours.
It's like it's important we talk about this stuff and put out more content. You guys are doing that great on that, and people need to understand that there is no way to make easy money. And even if we talk about the major stock tickers like Amazon, Google, Facebook, even Berkshire Hathaway or S&P 500, the bulk of wealth is made when you hodl it along the route. And I'm sure you know how Bitcoin has done as well. So I just posted about it yesterday that in the last 12 months, the performance of Bitcoin it's up like 75% in the last 12 months, versus Solana, it's up 6%.
Yeah.
And Ethereum is down 26% in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
So you need to hodl the right stuff.
Yep. So I want to tie into both Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum. Glad that you mentioned all of them. So like, in terms of Bitcoin, do you see yourself more of a like trader or a hodler, right?
Both, to be honest. I do trade on a short-term basis. I do love to, like, I have some hodl bag that I never touch, and there's like hot wallet that I touch every time. So yeah.
Good. Okay, perfect. Because I know people who like try to do both of them in one
Oh,
wallet.
no.
And that's and then in terms of like Ethereum and Solana, I know you mentioned that you basically were building on Ethereum as well. But like, do you think you could have pulled the flash trade? I mean, let's say hypothetically, right? I hope this doesn't happen. But like Solana just goes bust, right? It just doesn't work anymore. Tomorrow morning, everything's down. Solana doesn't work and then you're faced with a choice, right? Where are you gonna build, and would you be able to build on Ethereum? Yeah,
We are not aligned with any blockchain. We are aligned with
yeah,
technology.
yeah.
And what we find that works very well, we will be there because we are here to, serve our users as best as possible. It does
Yep.
not mean being aligned with something. If we see there is the technology makes sense, we will be there, and we try to be there because that's how you win in any place, by building the stuff that is valuable enough. So it's not about any alignment or such. It's more about what actually works, and we will try to build in that direction. And I personally believe people should not care the products are on which blockchain.
Yeah.
It needs to be abstracted. Like, people should not know flash trade is on Solana. People should just know that, okay, I'm using flash trade, I love the experience, that's it.
Yeah, and actually, this is pretty refreshing to hear, actually, because you see a lot of projects, trying to actually get the hype out of a chain. I mean, when the meme coin mania started a few months ago, and everyone was, all the liquidity was going into Solana because of meme coins. You had companies that had been building for ages, let's say in Ethereum. All of a sudden, they decide to migrate into Solana because they think, hey, that's where the money is going. Let's also move there. But if you have something that aligns like with a specific chain, you don't necessarily have to move into Solana. I mean, personally, I'm a huge proponent of Solana, but as you said yourself, projects shouldn't be associated with a chain. They should be associated with what they represent. I mean, they should
Yeah.
be associated with crypto at the end of the day. So I fully agree with you on that. I wanted to touch upon something I remember from some of the tweets I saw last year. There was a period where you guys faced like a toxic trade flow in 2024, and in my opinion, it's like the way you guys managed it. How you guys established and the community trust in the first place. It really showed like the power of transparent leadership, if I may say.
Yep.
So if you maybe want to navigate a little bit
For
on
sure.
that.
See, like what I basically see is, like, when you run exchanges, you will always have some hiccups. And
Yeah.
historically, the issue is, like, everything that we are building in crypto it runs 24/7. There are no breaks.
Yeah.
We never go on a maintenance mode. If you compare us to other centralized exchanges or the exchanges that are on traditional finance, these exchanges they have daily breaks. They go off during weekend. They have maintenance times. Even your banks will have some offline times where they're upgrading their software. But when you're building in DeFi, there are no breaks.
Yeah.
So due to this extensive stuff, you sometimes have some speed breakers. I call these speed breakers, and it's more about being transparent during these speed breaker movements that helps us to be transparent. And shit happens. And if you see any exchange, and every exchange, actually every big exchange has their share of shitty situations, and even we had one, and we're happy that we came out alive from it. And it's all about, that's what I'm saying, like, when you're building in DeFi, it's 24/7 markets, and as you build, you experience these things and you become more hardened by it. Like,
Yeah.
you become more trustworthy because you went through it, and now you know how the fuck ups can happen. So that's how humans learn, right? Like, you can study as much as you want in your college or through textbooks or videos, but until as you go through these shitty situations, you won't know what how to come through it and how it happens. So it's a great learning moment for us.
Yeah, and like I think one of the best traits for a project to have in crypto and in DeFi specifically, I think it's being time tested, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
and yeah. So like, to wrap it up, I have two questions, and you can go like you can attack these questions however they feel like it, right? So one other question is what's next for flash rate, and then the next one is what's something that you would want like the listeners of this specific episode to know about flash rate.
For sure, for sure. Yeah. On the next part is like it's the second iteration of our margin engine. The first iteration has been live for the past 16 months. It took us a year to come up with this margin engine that is live right now. And the second iteration is gonna help us to list more than 200 plus assets, irrespective of them being on chain or off chain. And we want to be the hub for trading perpetuals exchange without any effort. So that is coming up with a lot of features that are on the technical side of things. Basically, you will have lower fees, the experience would be much faster, you would be able to trade many other coins that we don't have right now, that we miss a lot of major caps, and there are many DeFi altcoins that we haven't listed. So we really want to accelerate in that direction, and that is what it's gonna help us to come up with. And the way the engine has designed, it will also unlock higher yields for people who are depositing into our market making vaults, which are like flash liquidity pools. So that is also a very great benefit. So it's like win-win situation on both sides, where traders get more assets and liquidity provider gets more yield. So that is what is coming next in this quarter is what I would say. In the next quarter, we'll probably look towards breakpoint and certainly have something very interesting to go ahead. And apart from that, yeah, what you want to know about flash rate for the viewers is like, we are building an exchange, we are a fully bootstrapped team, and we love what we are doing, and we have high hopes for what is to come. And everything that we have done so far is as transparent as it gets. And yeah, the people who have joined with us have actually made money. So that is what I'm saying.
That's the best way to hook people up. Come here, make money. You're gonna make money.
Like the thing is, everyone is to make money here, right? Like,
yeah.
so that is what we try. Like, if you like, I've been posting about it. So the liquidity pools that we have, which are the market making walls, they have outperformed Solana and Bitcoin. These are like the golden benchmarks of crypto.
Yeah.
So people could have, instead of lending for single digit APYs, people could have lended in FLP pools and beaten them, the golden standard Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I'm happy as a market maker that I was able to create this sort of pools where people, by just simply depositing some money in this, could beat the market. So building a democratic pool so that people can get the best yield just makes me more happy. And that's what I'm saying, like, we are here to make more money for people, and if we are not making, then we are failing.
Yeah, like I wanna name this episode "Beating the Unbeatable Market."
Oh wow, lovely, I love it.
Yeah. Thank you for the applaud. So yeah, literally, like, this is what this is all about, right? Is building good products, and that's why what me and Dren especially love about this industry, right? Because we've been traders, we've tried to build as well, but like we noticed that we need to focus on builders, right? Because they are the real driving force behind the whole industry. So again, Anas, thank you very much for your time today, and I mean, we're gonna probably connect again. We're probably gonna do many more episodes again. But yeah, thank you very much for your time, and I wish you have an amazing day ahead.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Well, that was amazing.
It was really amazing. I really loved it.
Not just in terms of what he shared, but also the way he answered about some of the stuff. Personally, I didn't want to ask maybe about the toxic trade flow situation that happened in 2024, but the way he answered that, I applaud that, and
Yeah,
I'm really happy that we managed to have him in this episode.
yeah, same for me as well. And that's what I really value about these people that are actually building and trying to stay aligned with this vision of decentralization and transparency, because most of the issues, let's say FTX, right?
Yeah.
Let's say FTX. If they, they were a centralized exchange at the end of the day, but still, if they had been more transparent, probably everything would have gone at least a little bit better, in my opinion, right? You don't agree? Why?
I don't know. It just I don't feel like the word transparent and centralized exchange go into the same sentence, if you know what I mean.
But like right now we have proof of reserves.
Yeah, I get your point.
By any means, I don't think that centralized exchanges are the way to go in the long run. But at least they have these proof of reserves, right? At least that you know that. I mean, you can't know for sure, but you know that they have something behind. You know, it's not just a facade.
Yeah,
And facade is like
very fancy word.
very fancy word. And if I use it, it means that you have to not use it anymore because it's overused.
Facade.
Facade, yeah. So I think it was amazing, right? And I hope you start using Flash Trade on a daily basis again. You get back to trading because you quit trading a while back. You gotta get back to trading, right? Let's lose money faster and make it even faster. Make it back even faster.
Who knows? I might, start a course.
Yeah, let's start selling courses.
Yeah.
How to trade your Bitcoin because it's digital gold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like you're right. You make a good point. I might actually go back to trading.
Come on. You have stocks in meme coins right now.
Yeah.
So
and I'm excited about this partnership. Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I really think that this couldn't have gone any better. Even the partnership, the episode, and everything in between, because the whole company stands for everything I wanna stand for, right? The same vision, the same method of executing. So yeah. Are we gonna use this for partnership for this? So yeah, thank you guys very much, and we are really happy to have you here with us today. And let's see what happens in the next episode.
And shout out to Flash Trade.
Shout out to Flash Trade, Anas and Mags as well. Big love to the rest of the team as well.